Good morning, everyone. Thanks for watching. I hope you're having a wonderful day. So this week has been another good week. No complaints. This marks I'm 155 days cancer-free. So we'll. I have tests coming up. Feels a little weird saying that because it's like, hey, what if it's not true? I believe it's true, so we're going to stick with it. Another thing I wanted to start adding in is just kind of tracking my results from the prior week. And for that, I am going to track what I did. So one of the things I do is I take steps. So last week I walked 84,119 steps. Had 25 plus pounds fruits and veggies, probably more like 35 pounds, because that mostly just counts the juicing. It's been great. Been staying motivated, sticking with the plan. There were a few days. Did I? Well, no, I've been sticking with my smoothies this week. Last week when I was on site for work, it was a little bit harder for get my smoothies in because I didn't have a blender or frozen food or whatever. But overall, doing really well. Grateful for another day. Speaking of grateful, something that I'm grateful for this week is the nice weather in Phoenix or the Arizona area. So in Arizona, you get Hellfire temperatures or you get gorgeous weather. And right now it's gorgeous weather. We're getting into that springish feel. Things are growing, pollen's out, everyone's getting sick. But it's, really nice outside. The grass is growing again, which is really nice. This week I went outside, after work and went in the backyard and just sat on the ground or pushed the kids on the swing, and it was just a great time to be outside and enjoy the air. And then, we sat on the porch. And the other day was windy and our chimes were dinging, and just kind of hung out and talked. So grateful for wonderful weather. Hopefully it lasts for a while, and I'll enjoy it as much as I can while it's there. All right. Core topic this week, garlic. Right here. This little, I think it's a root. Is it a root? I should probably look at what an actual real garlic plant looks like. It's giving me root vibes, but I don't know that I don't think it is actually a root. Anyway, it's kind of a magical plant. First off, it tastes good. So there's a win. Let's talk a little bit about what I do with garlic. So first off, I eat it whenever I can. I've always liked garlic, but I have got an additional focus on garlic now than I used to. So I eat at least 1 clove of garlic a day. And I get that in my anti-inflammation broth that I drink. Kind of a new thing. I don't know if I've talked about it or not. I used to just put garlic and oregano in water and some apple cider vinegar and just knock it back. And it was just I'm going to get the garlic in no matter what. However, it's kind of gross. So I have since switched it to a broth, and it makes it easier, tastier to actually get it in. But it means I get at least 1 clove of garlic in every day. Other things, we've got 2 toddlers, and when you have those little kids, they can get ear infections. And sorry. Instead of taking them to the doctor and getting antibiotics, one of the things that we would do is we would get garlic oil and put it in their ears, and it would work. We would put it in their ears, and they just didn't get ear infections. Or if they seemed like they had ear infections, it would go away. And I actually remember when I was a little kid, my parents doing that for me, and my ear would hurt, and I was hurting, not feeling good. They put the garlic oil in, and it was kind of instant relief. It just felt better really quickly. And it's funny because when I did it with my children, it's they like it. They're okay, do it. So anyway, if you have little children and you're dealing with chronic ear infections or just every now and then, garlic oil is a great remedy. The obvious other choice is if you eat a lot of garlic, vampires hate it, and so you're much less likely to be, had their blood sucked on your neck or something. So no one's going after me. As a vampire target, I am off the board. If you eat as much as I do or as much as I have, you will potentially start to have a garlic odor, and that can be annoying for people around you. So if you're like using it for cancer prevention and you're having like 5 cloves of garlic a day, there's potentially a lot of benefits, but you'll stink. All right, so let's talk a little bit go into detail on some of the garlic benefits. So first off, it is an antibacterial agent. It is a natural one. So it's obviously not as strong as antibiotics, but it's natural, and you're not going to get a resistance to antibiotics if you're eating garlic, because it's not an actual antibiotic. But depending on what you're dealing with, it might be enough to clear it up. It actually can be very helpful in cancer prevention, which is the main reason why I'm taking it all the time, but there's a lot of other benefits. It's also great for cardiovascular disease, which is the actual number one killer. And it's also helpful for type 2 diabetes, which is like number 3 killer. So the top killers of all of the people in America, garlic is an active preventator of all of them. And then obviously it also increases inflammation reduction, which is kind of a breeding ground for cancer, but it can be annoying depending on if you just have a lot of inflammation anyway. So I'm going to include a couple of things in the description with some links to some studies. I always say, don't take my word for it. In your gut, you probably know garlic's good for you, not just tastes good. But do your own research, right? I'm just some guy talking. But I'm going to throw in a couple of links to some studies that, highlight or at least back some of what I'm saying. So speaking of garlic prevention, for cancer prevention, one of the things that garlic contains is allicin, I think is how you pronounce it, which have demonstrated anti-cancer properties. Some studies have suggested it could reduce your chance of getting cancer by 30%, specifically colorectal and stomach cancers. But I think it affects, potentially a variety of them because it, is anti-inflammatory and things like that. It's also can enhance your immune function, which part of that is obviously the antibacterial side of things. But ultimately, cancer is a disease of your immune system not being able to get rid of the cancer. It doesn't identify it, doesn't get it. So if your immune system is stronger, it kind of broadly reduces your risk of disease, including cancer. So garlic is great for that. So then again, let's move on to cardiovascular health. So heart disease is the number one killer. The problem with heart disease is when it kills you, you're dead, because how you find out about it is normally a heart attack. I guess you don't always die with those, but oftentimes people die, right? So garlic has been found to help with cardiovascular disease in a couple things. One, it can help lower your blood pressure, not by like significant amounts, but 5 to 8%, as one study found. It can help lower your cholesterol, your bad cholesterol in particular. I've been learning a little bit about this, and cholesterol isn't necessarily the only, or isn't necessarily the best indicator of heart disease, but ultimately having good LDLs is a good thing to have. And it's more of less of a causal indicator as it is like a symptom indicator. But having it look good is obviously beneficial. And basically it can help clean your arteries and your blood vessels. So ultimately what heart disease is in a lot of ways is just you get clogged up arteries, and eventually they're too much and you die, or it clogs up and you have an event. So it helps keep your arteries clear, which lowers your chance of heart attacks, strokes, those kind of things. Okay. Also, garlic helps with type 2 diabetes. So obviously, real diabetes, type 1, you really have no choice in that scenario. But type 2, there are things you can do to, control it or reduce the chance of you ever getting it. And studies have found that garlic can help with blood sugar levels and help prevent insulin resistance, right? And then also, it can improve insulin sensitivity, and all of those things are good for type 2 diabetes. And then, kind of the obvious one is inflammation reduction. Chronic inflammation, ultimately leads to cancer and things like that. And so, by reducing that, it can reduce your chances of some of these diseases. But also, you feel better because you're not inflamed all the time, right? And so, if you don't have any of those diseases, or you don't think you're ever going to get them, there's still a benefit of just anti-inflammation, right? So if you're inflamed all the time, or you can just take garlic and help do better. And then, inflamed arteries and things like that, clears them out too. So the ultimate takeaway here is garlic is a plant. It tastes good. Everyone loves garlic bread. There's garlic flavored things all the time. But it's really good for you. I get organic garlic. I don't know how important getting organic is. I try to get organic everything. But eat it, right? It's all good stuff. Keeps the vampires away, keeps the inflammation away, keeps your arteries clean so you don't have heart disease, keeps your insulin levels in the best spot so you have good blood sugar, and it can help prevent cancer. So eat it every day. I use my broth to help me make sure that I eat it every day, because when you know it's good, but then you realize how often you don't eat it. You have to go out of your way to find a food. You're like, hey, okay, I'm gonna have garlic bread today. Yay, I got it. Well, then you don't have garlic bread for a month. You're like, wow, I haven't had garlic in a long time. So get it in every day. You get a lot of benefits. All right, so that's a lot about garlic. Hopefully it was informative and interesting. And if you've listened this far, appreciate it. So, hot take this week. I didn't have a really good one, other than time is fast, right? It's been 150 plus days since I kind of started this journey, and it feels like a moment, right? And I think we all experience that. We all do experience it. It's super obvious if you've got kids. You had them and they're small children, and then you look over and they're helping you clean the house. And you're like, whoa, what? When did you become a little kid and not a little toddler anymore? The moral of it, the hot take is, do something hard today. You won't remember it in a few minutes, but you'll live with the results. Like, I went 30, it's been 100 plus days. I lost 30 pounds. And there were some hard times in there, right? Where I did a 7-day water fast, and I was on a stricter diet than I am now. I don't remember any of that pain. Whatever pain it was. It's like, whatever, gone. But now I'm like, oh, wow. I don't have as much of a muffin top anymore, and I feel better, So anyway, do something hard. Time goes by so fast, you won't remember it, but the benefits of doing hard things last. All right, that's it for this week. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. God bless and have a wonderful day. Bye.